welcome back. So, a few weeks back, actually now, it's been some time. God, time is flying. I went to Candytopia with a few friends and my younger sister. I kind of went into this blind, not really knowing what to expect. I just figured it was another pop-up museum, kind of like how the ice cream factory or museum was a pop-up museum, and it was pretty much exactly as expected. There was no real big surprise, which is awesome because it was a real fun time at the ice cream museum. Definitely it was created for Instagram. Everything was there for photos. And that being said, once you entered Candytopia, it was like steampunkish. They had this cool sign. There were free blow pops in the area. I believe they were blow pops or Tootsie Pops is the more appropriate term. And then there was a big dragon statue made out of candy, which was pretty awesome. And they kind of greeted you, let you know that you weren't supposed to eat any of the candy that was on display. They had plenty of candy in different areas for you to grab, so eat that instead. And that's how it began. Then they led you to the first room, which was kind of this mysterious type office. It kind of reminded me of from Spirited Away, the water boiler area where he had all the little different drawers and stuff, but it could also be noted that it was Harry Potter-esque and that it was kind of that mysterious type deal. Here's kind of where the actual host who explained the rules and everything of the area came out and spoke with us and made us do the sing and dance type deal to get our first taste of candy, other than the blow pops or the Tootsie Pops that were in the front. And he gave us as much Lindt chocolate as we could grab, which was pretty awesome. Now they did set it up pretty interestingly so that in the room, like the chandelier kind of came down and the chocolate was hidden inside there. After that, we walked into kind of a different focused area. Every room had its own theme, and the next theme was kind of like that Charlie and the Chocolate Factory type land, where it was kind of fields of candy. You know, the big mushrooms and everything that were made of candy. They had slides and they had swings and they had like a merry-go-round in the middle. And in this area, it was caramel apple pops were the candy of choice that you could grab as much as you want. So, as I said, each room had their own candy, so there was definitely plenty to be had, and there was no real lack of candy for you to grab, even though our appointment was like at 8:30 at night, so it was quite late, or 9:30 I think it was actually. We were the last group through. And following the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory room, we walked into kind of like a zebra room or like a black and white striped room. This room was pretty impressive. They had a bunch of different art pieces in there. So they had like a big Sphinx statue as well as a ton of portraits. And the portraits ranged from like Van Gogh's Screamer, or I'm sorry, I think it's Van Gogh's Scream. And they also had like a portrait of Steve Jobs. So things like that along those lines were pretty awesome. It should be noted that in this room they had necklaces, the necklace candies with all the little sweet treats on them. So that was pretty cool. And then from there we went into a Instagram type area where it was just a lot of different backdrops. They had one specifically for San Francisco, and then they had like this sky area with two big balls that you could play with, and then they had kind of like this kind of psychedelic corner as well. It was really cool for taking photos, and like I said, it was definitely made for your Instagram type feed things. And then moving on from there, we went into an underwater area where it was like oceanic themed or underwater theme, and one of our friends was actually dressed up like a shark. Just randomly, it just, coincidentally matched up really well. So she was able to kind of get her like groove on in that room, if you could imagine, and all her IG photos I'm sure are going to be awesome. But It was underwater themed. They had like seahorses and sharks hanging from the sky and sharks coming up from the ground and everything. It was really, really awesome. And finally that leads us to, oh, I'm sorry, no. That actually then leads us to the flying pigs room, where they had all this confetti and everything being blasted everywhere. It was similar to kind of the sprinkles pool, although I would hold off on saying that it was the same as the sprinkles pool. It was just the confetti got everywhere, and that was kind of a bummer, or the thing that you're definitely going to be bringing home with you, I guess. Like, we still find sprinkles from the ice cream museum randomly around the house now, even though we've vacuumed hella times. We have still finding the confetti around here, and it was coming out of all sorts of orifices from the pigs, which was pretty funny. And the candy in there was this truly sour gummy treat that they're delicious. Lynn didn't really like them though, so I guess just more for me. And lastly now, the final room was the marshmallow pool room, which that's probably the room that had the most like employees in it, because they kept telling you don't bring your cell phone or cameras into the pool area. There's a good chance you're gonna lose it, and it's totally understandable why. They had a bunch of marshmallows fall from the ceiling. They had fans that were blowing in marshmallows into the pool. It was really awesome. Like, just a real good time. Everybody was just enjoying themselves in the pool. Now, I will say that it was really hard to get out of, and it was kind of like being in the like ball pit at like McDonald's or Discovery Zone or Chuck E. Cheese's or whatever. So they're very, very similar. I understand why they were saying be careful, because you could lose stuff in there, because I can only imagine if you dropped your cell phone into that pit where you'd be finding it next. So it'd probably be when they were closing up shop and like packing away all those marshmallows, which were all just kind of like pillows. So it was really awesome. And from that room, it kind of just leads you back out to their souvenir shop, where they had a ton of candy, obviously a whole wall of candy for you to go get, as well as a area for you to kind of buy swag, I guess you could call it, like socks or t-shirts or stuffed animals or candy from around the world that didn't really fit onto the wall. And overall, it was just a really good time. Now, I'm not familiar with how much tickets cost, because like I said, it was kind of one of those things that snuck up on me and my younger sister purchased it for me, but I think it was worth every penny of us going, because one of the things, like I was saying before, is every room had its own type of candy, and you were allowed to take as much of it as you want, and they didn't limit you to bring bags in. So 3 of my friends had bags, so we were just kind of grabbing handfuls of candy, and I mean, we still have candy now, so it's been a few weeks. But yeah, overall, just an amazing time. If it comes into your area and you have the opportunity, because the tickets sell out fast, definitely give it a shot. It was a blast to go to, and just a really interesting thing to see. I loved all the art that they made with using all the little candy pieces. That was really awesome. It was definitely a different vibe from the ice cream factory or the ice cream museum in that sense. If it does pop up near you, check it out. Anyhow, I'll see you in the next one.
Off track.